gather around. I'm glad everybody came out tonight. As we stand on our neighborhood corner, know that this fire that's burning represents the passion you have. Listen.
Nobody should be judged by the color of their skin, race, and nationality. I dream of a world where there's no violence, but truth is that will never become a reality. I want to talk about a word that I hear every day, a word that was being used back when people were getting hung off of trees and ropes over 400 years later, and I still don't see no hope. You see, people are still blind to the fact that it doesn't matter if you're white or black. Whenever this word is being used, many different people have many different opinions and different views. You're disrespecting yourself if that's what you're going to claim yourself as. Disrespecting your culture if that's what you're going to name yourself as. You see, I'm living in a world where people judge me by my skin color, or rather look at my race before they look at my face. So what I'm saying is you can't judge a book by its cover, and you can't judge a man just by looking at his color. You see, people will focus more on what's on the outside and forget about what's beneath you. And all these things can determine how people are going to treat you. But the truth is we're all human. We should all be treated equal. And it makes no sense we going around hating on other people. See, every day there's another brother just waiting, ready to pull another trigger. And as soon as he die, everybody around him going to be like, damn, there goes another nigga. So the next time you use the word, be careful on how you intend it. Because some might take it kindly and others might get offended. Some of us take chances, but me, I'm just giving it. Martin Luther King had a dream, and right now we're all living it. Because if it wasn't for him and all these other black leaders, a young brother like myself wouldn't even have these opportunities. And we got to stop the violence that's going on in our communities. You see, there's two things in this world that's very short, and that's life and time. But I'm just hoping you can understand me when I write this rhyme. I know a lot of people have different views on the word, and a lot of you just very opinionated. But I'm just telling you the history of the word and how it originated. I understand a lot of people may feel a certain way about it. Well, this is how I feel about the word and what I got to say about it.
Hello Earthlings, welcome to Beat Freaks, a very special edition of Beat Freaks. Right here, who you have just seen, is my buddy Turkana. He is a rapper and spoken word artist, and he is here to help us with this big video where we will be covering the evolution of King Kendrick Lamar.
King Kunta.
That's Kung Fu Kenny to you guys.
And this is rigor mortis, and it's gorgeous when you die. I recorded and I'm Morpheus, the matrix in my mind. C-O-M-P-T-O-N, I win, then ball at your defeat. C-O-M-P-T-O-N, my city mobbing in the street. Dreams are reality's piece. Blow steam in the face of the beast. The sky can fall down, the wind can cry down. The strong in me, I still smile. I love myself. The world.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015.
This that great poop on that AV on that TED Talk. Hey, watch my soul speak. You let the meds talk.
Alright, so Kendrick Lamar has had a big 2017 so far. He dropped his latest album titled Damn. That came out April 8th. We have the album right here. Turkana's going to show it to you. I'll show it to you, sure. Here we go, right here. And this is his latest piece of work. And it's a very interesting album, right?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Totally different than really anything we've heard from him before.
In my opinion, not completely different. You know, somewhat similar, but
Yeah.
I think he ventures into a lot of styles that he hasn't put a lot of effort in forth in the past, you know? Like the R&B type sound. Stuff like that, different kind of beats. We'll get into that.
A little bit more modern flows. And all of that. It definitely was a very hard hitting album. Definitely saw Kendrick at his most ferocious, potentially, and yeah, it was just super energetic and covered a lot of ground that we just haven't seen Kendrick really do as far as I've been aware.
You mentioned that ferocity,
Ferocity.
Ferocity, yes.
English.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Tongue twisted.
I used to be an English major too. It's embarrassing. All right, so but you mentioned that track like DNA. You have
Yes.
that. It goes in. Then you have XXX, which is not the first half. Of course, it kind of starts off kind of chill, and all of a sudden you get the beat switches. And it goes hard in that part right there.
In my opinion, that's like the best song.
Oh yeah, it was
I think
definitely up
it's
there
pretty
for me.
good.
It's some because it sums up what the whole album's about.
Yeah, I like a few other tracks too. I like Elements alright. You know.
Elements is up there. Lust is up there.
Lust is very good.
Lust is really good.
Yeah, I also like Love a lot. It's a good track. Duckworth's an interesting story at the end.
Duckworth was a really interesting way to end the album for sure.
And then notice how like towards the end of that song, Duckworth, there was a lot of controversy. People were trying to wonder like what was he saying like towards the end. In reality, all he did was just rewind the song, backwards, like, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that was the other big thing about this Kendrick season is everybody thought he was going to be coming out with a second album. That Damn wasn't the actual album he came out with.
Yeah.
And then the conspiracy started rising that if you listen to the album backwards, it's a completely different album, which I never tried, so I don't know if that's true, but like it just seems kind of like bullshit. But that would be the kind of thing that Kendrick would do.
Yeah.
He's always been just he's always been one of the most creative and experimental artists in hip hop, at least since he came into popularity.
He's definitely not afraid to change the sound around, and you see that over the past 6 years. That's what's separated him from the rest of the field. Essentially, it's just being able to go out there and doing exactly what he wants, doing anything really within the hip hop realm, and he put himself on top of the game pretty solely right now.
So let's take a step back. His first real album, Section 80. I would say is a lot more of a traditional hip hop album. Would you agree?
I agree.
But do you still think it is different in sense, and if so, how?
I mean, it's different in sense because. What do you mean by traditional though? Because traditional mean a lot of different things.
Okay, well, yeah, it does mean a lot of different things. To me, when I listen to Section 80, it's like you're saying, it is a lot more singles focused. It's the beats feel a lot more like it's something that you would hear in like a traditional rap album, where I feel like a lot of the stuff on Good Kid, Mad City, and especially on To Pimp a Butterfly and Damn, are a lot more experimental and a lot less hip hop in a sense.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Front to back, Section 80 is a hip hop album, that's for sure. And I think what you're saying there is I can take those songs and add them to like a giant listening playlist. I think I have the most songs on my main playlist from Section 80 of Kendrick songs, just because they're the most songs you can take away from the album and listen to them by themselves without like taking away from the actual album. Where if you take The Pimp a Butterfly, for example, I can't really do that, because a lot of the songs there have to be listened to like with the album. And if you don't listen to all the tracks,
because it's fitting. Part of the reason why he even released the Untitled album was because a lot of those songs didn't fit, not because they were trash or anything like that, but because he felt that a lot of those songs he released off the Untitled album wasn't going to fit the content, or wasn't going to fit like, pretty much the story that he was trying to portray, that he was trying to, display to his audience with To Pimp a Butterfly. So a lot of those songs were pretty much leftovers from, this album right here, To Pimp a Butterfly.
And yet those songs were all pretty amazing for throwaway tracks.
Yeah, those were just pretty much songs that didn't really fit, that album, that Steve just, pointed out. So pretty much he just decided to just pretty much do it like a, little present for his fans, a little something extra just to show how hard he was working in the studio. So, yeah, overall, like, I feel all his albums have been hip-hop albums. They've all been,
of course.
They've all been albums that have been hip-hop albums, like, some more than others, obviously, but, for the most part, Kendrick Lamar, he definitely deserves the credit that he's gotten. He definitely deserves the recognition that he's gotten, in my opinion, as far as being the top lyricist, as far as being the top, just the top rapper, as far as like, his lyricism, everything that he brings, his creativity. He definitely deserves all that recognition, that and 1,000. Like he definitely deserves that, and he gets that credit, and deservedly so, because not just because of how many albums he's put out throughout the years, but how consistent he's been, with his catalog. So compared, as opposed to other rappers who, they may not be as creative as him, they may not be as, as deep or as intellectual with their lyricism as he is. The only two other rappers that you could think of who have the same lyricism as him and, or at least somewhat the same lyricism as him and the same popularity or above him in popularity are just Cole and Drake. And Drake automatically, you can just pretty much exclude him out that conversation simply because he doesn't rap about the same subject matters as Cole and Kendrick. So that just leaves Cole and Kendrick. Now, obviously, there's other rappers, such as the Joey Badasses, such as the Logics, many other artists who, are socially conscious like them. However, in my opinion, they're not as good as they are. They don't make as good music as they do, and on top of that, they're not as popular and whatnot. So really, Cole and Kendrick, they're the two main guys, on that level when it comes to just rapping about issues as far as police brutality, as far as racism, as far as poverty, as far as how women are treated, like just societal plights that are still occurring in this country today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he made a point.
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
He made a point about the intellectual system layer.
Yes.
And I think if we're looking at the evolution of Kendrick.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay,
yeah.
so I think over time, it's gotten to the point where, like, especially with The Pimp a Butterfly, you have to listen to that album like 6 times before you can really understand
Oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, that was heavy.
When it starts with Section 80, you can kind of listen to the album twice and you probably get a good idea what's going on there. I think as time's gone on, Kendrick's definitely done a better job, or not better, just done a different job, or different way of taking his lyrics and having them mean something without just having it like be so
straight in your face.
Yeah,
I agree completely because I got that impression from Section 80 as well. Going through and just saying, it's got songs like, No Makeup.
Yeah,
is definitely one of them. What was the song about the prostitute?
That's the same song ties into that one.
Keisha's song?
Oh,
okay. Keisha's song. They tie into each other. That's why at the end of that track he says to be continued at 11. The track. So that one.
Nice.
It's probably my favorite song. It's a really powerful song.
It is a very, very powerful song. Yeah.
Well, Kendrick is always known with the To Be Continued. I'm glad you just brought that up. Kendrick is always known to like a lot of rappers, he's always known to add on to his story. With songs, The Heart Part 4. Like he's done multiple songs like that. The other 3 parts. So it's like he's always continuing. He's always continuing off, where he left off.
Actually, to tie into that, in Good Kid, Mad City, he ties into that story with Keisha. He brings up from there's one track where he's
talking about Shireen.
No. Shireen's different. Let me see the track list, please. Sing About Me, I'm dying of thirst. On the first half, Sing About Me, he's rapping from other people's perspective, and he's rapping from Keisha's sister's perspective, because he says, at one point it says, in the last album you did, it was called Section 80, he rapped about my sister, and his sister was the song, the prostitution one.
I do remember
so
that.
So he ties that story in on his next album, which is, pretty cool.
I mean, I definitely think that Good Kid, Mad City is somewhat of a continuation of Section 80. Section 80 talking a lot about the stuff that he's been going through, and Good Kid, Mad City being more of a magnification of what life growing up in Compton is. And I also kind of feel like Damn is a bit of a continuation of The Pimp a Butterfly, because The Pimp a Butterfly talks a lot about the depression that he has faced being a celebrity of his status, and going back to his old neighborhood and feeling just this kind of isolation as a star, which is kind of continued in Damn, where he talks a lot about feeling like he's very isolated, people don't pray for him, or that he's just kind of breaking down mentally. So it is very true. Kendrick just really likes to continue with themes and just evolving over time.
Which isn't something you see in a lot of artists. They don't take albums that have themes from other albums and tie them into the next album. It's usually an album, then you have another album that's completely different. Where even we talked about Future's albums earlier on the series, how they had 2 albums, but they didn't tie it all. They're completely different. So Kendrick, he takes 2 albums come out 2 years apart, and they tie into each other.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Other artists switch concepts too.
Yeah.
And there is different concepts. I think the Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City concept is far different than the Butterfly Damn concept.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about how he has evolved, both in we've been talking about lyrics, kind of, but like as far as flows, I definitely think as far as Section 80 to Damn, he has completely changed his whole presentation of himself, which is another reason why I say that Section 80 is a bit more of a traditional hip hop album, because he is for the most part just rapping. Where if you listen to some of his following albums, he's still rapping, but just the things that he does with his voice is a lot more playful, it's experimental, and it fits a lot more with like the music rather than just being like a verse.
Yeah, he definitely does a lot more now with changing his voice around to fit the flow of the song, or to fit how the song sounds, the beat of the song. Yeah. So that way he like makes his voice almost like an instrument in its own, where he's using his voice to change parts of a song. He has different voices in different songs. Turkana had this conversation about this earlier, where like he'll take a song and he'll change his voice halfway through it, almost like when you switch a beat, So he's done a big part of that. He didn't do that a lot in Section 80. A lot of it was similar sounding flows. Not similar sounding flows, he has a lot of different flows, but in general it sounds similar voice-wise. Then as he progresses throughout his career, he's definitely done a job of changing that and trying to be different.
Well, I think, to go off of what you were saying, I think a lot of that just has to do with simply because the reason why Kendrick, I feel that he started experimenting more with his voice, I think it's just simply because he started feeling more comfortable about himself as an artist. And like what, now after Section 80, it was kind of like, okay, I'm in now, I'm signed. Now I'm officially, because I think that album was before he even got signed, to Dr. Dre. Was it? Because
it was either before or like right after. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, because I believe at that point in time, Kendrick, he was with like Top Dog still, at that point in time, but he wasn't like with Dr. Dre, I don't believe. Well, Good Kid, Mad City, that's when he started, because once after that first album, the independent album, Section 80, pretty much around that time when him and Dr. Dre linked up, that was pretty much when I guess he was able to be more creative and had a little more freedom to just be himself artistically. So I feel that, over time he started to become more accustomed to it. Like, he got more comfortable in his own skin, more comfortable with his own voice. So I think that's also a big reason why he started experimenting and doing different things. A lot of rappers do that too, where, you won't see who they really are as an artist until maybe their second, third album. Because Kendrick, he has gotten better over time, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. His voice definitely over time he's got more comfortable with it, done a lot more. How do you musically, the background sonics, how do you feel that has changed since Section 80?
I think it's become a lot more diverse in sound overall. I think Section 80, we talked about being a traditional hip hop song. You have traditional hip hop beats. Of course, some stuff it's a little different. I don't know.
I don't know necessarily think it's like, it doesn't sound like obviously like a 90s album or anything, or it definitely does still explore and experiment.
Talk about which one sounds more 90s. Good Kid, Mad City sounds more 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially on Mad City, the song.
Oh yeah.
Like that's.
That's,
it has a 90s beat straight to it. Okay, that's usually I think of a 90s song. It's confident, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think sonically though, even in Damn, if you look at it, I think Pimp Butterfly really has that transition period where the beats start to change a lot. And on Damn, you have like way different beats. You have
it changes up like every 5 seconds.
He experiments a lot of beat switches in this album.
Yeah, he did that. That was one thing.
It feels like a bunch of many different songs have beat switches in them, which he didn't have in the past. So that's something he's starting to develop here and play with, and I think it's interesting. He's just, everything about him has changed over time, and as an artist, that's what to be successful. We have a video on our channel. We interviewed Jan Nostra, remember? And of course you remember.
Of course I remember. I interviewed him.
We talked about it, how he changes as an artist, and I think his buddy actually mentioned that in an interview. How you have to always be evolving as an artist. And Kendrick, he's demonstrated that in every album. There's something that changes.
No, absolutely. I definitely think that kind of tendency of doing quick changes is definitely the foundation of it. Was laid into Pimp a Butterfly, because not necessarily that it was a lot of quick changes in the album, because there wasn't, but some of the songs are shorter, and he thought of it more as something that flowed together. It's definitely, Pimp a Butterfly definitely I think is his best album, just for the fact that it is just such an experience as an album from top to bottom, just the way that it just fits together and changes over time, changes the energy. And I think that he learned a lot from that and brought that into Damn.
Yeah. I think I have a tough time deciding which is my favorite Kendrick album. I think it's either Good Kid, Mad City or Damn. The Pimp Butterfly is great and all, It's not my favorite.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean, I you know, I'm a
That's a
big,
tough album,
I'm a
you
big
know?
jazz person, so all the funk and jazz influence of the album
of course.
mixed with all the themes and lyrics of all the stuff that he was talking about on the album, it just like blew me away.
That's just a tough album to fully grasp, and I don't even know if I've ever fully grasped.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
you know, so that's tough to pick. I think Good Kid, Mad City. I like the story in the album. I like how it's complete
Honestly,
throughout, front to back.
My honest opinion, I think Good Kid, Mad City was his best work. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people, a lot of his fans, just a lot of hip hop fans in general, you know, they all say that. The reason why I feel that Good Kid, Mad City was his best album was simply because it was his most diverse album. He had a little bit of everything for everybody on that album. To Pimp a Butterfly was a classic too, but it wasn't as diverse. Like, you know, he wasn't as experimental as far as like making different songs for different people. And, you know, like, I still thought it was a classic album. Damn was a pretty decent album. Wasn't, in my opinion, wasn't like his best work, because I've heard like way better, but still, Good Kid, Mad City, in my opinion, was his best work by far.
So, do you think that conceptually, Good Kid, Mad City was put together better, like more, a little bit more refined than To Pimp a Butterfly?
To Pimp a Butterfly had a great narrative behind it, like simply because of all the issues, all the things he was talking about in detail. But however, I just felt that Good Kid, Mad City was more, overall, yeah, I felt like it was more developed. I felt like it was more versatile. That's the main thing with me, like versatility. As he displayed that to perfection with that album. Like, I felt like he was, you know, he talked about a lot of different things. Not all of it was deep and intellectual. Not all of it was, you know, songs that could be played in the club, songs that could be played on the radio. He had a little bit of everything. That's why I'm saying I felt that album was better than To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it is an album that is easier to listen to. If you just want to listen to an album that is like a really like classic hip hop album.
I think Section 80 is the easiest one to listen to if you're just looking for just something to listen to. But if you wanted to analyze something, Pimp a Butterfly is your way to go to. But Good Kid, Mad City mixes those things, and that's why it's such a good album.
I agree.
That's why I feel it's his best album. You know?
Yeah, because it has a story to it. It has something you can analyze, but it also has the tracks you listen to, like Swimming Pools, which is such an easy song to listen to.
Yeah.
Money Trees.
Money Trees, another one, you know.
Yeah, he has a lot of club records, a lot of radio records, a lot of just street records, a lot of records for if you're feeling down, like, you know, The Dying of Thirst, Don't Sing About Me, that song.
Yeah.
Poetic Justice, big major radio record.
Yeah.
You already mentioned Swimming Pools.
Don't Get Bitch, Don't Kill My Vibe, you know.
Yeah, another big, like, that's what,
song.
you see what I'm saying? That's my whole point. That's why I feel that album is better than To Pimp a Butterfly, because he touches on so many different elements of hip hop. He gives you the radio play. He gives you, you know, what you want to hear on the streets. He gives you pretty much everything you want to hear from a rap, you know, from a rap artist, you know. So
I think if we're focusing on giving the listeners everything they want to hear, I think Damn does a great job of that as well. So if we look at Damn, you have tracks that are hard hitting. Now take a look at it right now.
You do.
We have hard hitting tracks. We have DNA. We have Humble. We have XXX. You know, we have those hard hitting tracks. But then we have those softer tracks. You know, like Loyalty with Rihanna. We have Lust. We have Love. So you have tracks, the R&B type feel, you know, from a couple of those tracks.
Yeah.
So you have
kind
tracks.
of a 90s feel
too. So you have, and of course, Pride too, which is kind of, Pride and Humble are like opposites, you know? Where like Pride's almost like being humble, and Humble's like a Pride track. So it's kind of interesting how they have the title switch there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you have tracks here that, and then Duckworth tells the story. So you have tracks for everyone on this album as well. And I think it's just more diverse than Good Kid, Mad City. So like, I think you have tracks on Good Kid, Mad City for every type of hip hop listener. But here you have it for like music listeners. So I think this is what this one does differently than that one. It's just as good and could qualify it as one of his best albums.
So let me ask then, do you think that Damn is easier to unpack than To Pimp a Butterfly? Because to me, I like Damn. Obviously, it's newer, so I've had less time to sit with it. But it was a very confusing album to me.
Yeah,
me too. In my honest,
I think because it's easier to listen to than To Pimp a Butterfly, it gives the listener a better chance to unpack it. Because To Pimp a Butterfly is a hard album to revisit over and over again, just because the sound is so. It's tough to listen to a lot, I think. It's very good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just tough to revisit over and over and over again. So I think with Damn, the sound invites you to re-listen to it. So I think that's the difference in allowing the listener to get a better understanding of it.
Mm-hmm. That makes total sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like when I first heard it, I wasn't really messing with the sound, to be honest. I thought it was really underwhelming, and that Kendrick just kind of he disappointed me a little bit. But the more I listened to it, the more I started to like listening to the intricacies in the sonics. It really does. It really is enticing and makes me want to go back to it. So I agree.
I think it's inviting.
Yeah, very true. Let's see. What else should we discuss?
Should we talk about what's next?
Yeah, I think that's probably where we'll end up.
Yeah.
So, hands off to Turkana. What would you want? What would you want to look for in Kendrick's next album?
Okay, what I want to look for in Kendrick's next album is pretty much what I've already seen, like previously, from To Pimp a Butterfly and to Good Kid, Mad City. You know, and even if you want to go back to Section 80, pretty much I want to see, you know, him being versatile. And that's also a major thing that a lot of people seem to criticize him about, his versatility. Like, because one, he'll make an album like To Pimp a Butterfly, which is mostly more of a deep, you know, more of a serious album, which touches on a lot of political, societal type of issues that's going on in this country. You know, that album was just more deep and more serious. So a lot of people were like, yeah, it was really deep. But at the same time, he wasn't as versatile. But then when you look at albums like Good Kid, Mad City, they're like, oh yeah, he's more versatile on this album. But then they're saying that he wasn't deep enough. He could have made more serious songs. So it's like pretty much just, you know, that's just also what a lot of people have been saying. Me personally, I think Kendrick is very versatile. You know, I've always enjoyed his music. You know, even if I didn't feel that, you know, his most recent album was his best work, I still overall liked the album. I just felt like he could have done a better job with, you know, some of the songs that he had on the album. But pretty much what I want from Kendrick is just pretty much to be as versatile as possible, put everything together on one album, make sure that you're telling a story. That's another big thing with the Damn album. It wasn't really a lot of, he was storytelling as usual. You know, that's mainly what Kendrick is best at, in my opinion, and pretty much everybody else feels the same way. But with this album, one thing I noticed was that he wasn't, like, there wasn't a particular theme that I feel, maybe I need to listen to it again, but at least from all the times I've heard it, there wasn't a particular theme that he was following, a particular narrative. Like with all those other albums, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, there was a very obvious narrative that he was, you know, following throughout that whole album. With this album in particular, the Damn album, like, I didn't hear that too much, you know, in his material. I didn't hear a particular theme, you know. So that was also another big thing that kind of threw me off about it. But, you know, Kendrick is a great artist. He deserves all the recognition he's gotten. I just pretty much want to hear him do, you know, I just want to hear him be versatile. Like, I just want to hear him put everything together, musically, sonically, lyrically, hooks, beats, all that. I just want to hear that all culminate into one beautiful masterpiece that, you know, I know he's capable of creating because he's already done it.
For sure.
Yeah, see, I think Kendrick, it's not front, he's the number one rapper in the game right now. And I want him to continue to prove that in his next album. I'm looking for an album that contains the diversity of sound. I think he wants to keep experimenting. He's experimented with something different every album. And now, I'm not a rapper myself, so I can't tell him what to experiment with next. But I think he'll find something to change. And of course, we'll notice it and be like, wow, he's doing this differently than he's done in the past. So I'm going to keep doing that, but keep doing the things he's doing. He's continued to keep those changes in every album. So as long as he can keep adding beat switches to it, or adding changes in voices, adding changes in his flow, just keep doing everything he's done in the past, and just up it one more.
Yeah.
See what he does next, you know, because I think it could be interesting, and of course it'll be something I'll probably like if they have like every Kendrick album so far.
For sure.
I mean, who doesn't like Kendrick albums? It's a hip hop fan right now, you know.
Now, true hip hop fan.
I guess
that's who it is.
He's the number one guy right now. So.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't understand it. That's the problem. I mean, if he wants to make something complex, that's what he does. He's putting out complex pieces of art. Like you said, you can't see a theme in Damn. Well, it's a complex piece of work.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I can't say shit to Kendrick. Like I said, Damn has grown on me a lot, and the more I get into it, the more I realize how much thought and meticulous detail was put into it. So I really just wanted to see Kendrick continue to do that, just put the same amount of energy and love into his projects as he has for pretty much all of them. And yeah, if he can just, you know, change it up again and give us something that we just really haven't heard, hopefully sonically, it's something that like I resonate a little bit more with on the first couple of listens, something that's not so necessarily alienating for me. But like as far as like the rapping goes, the themes go, the way he uses his voice, you know, I can't say anything. He's just a master at work.
All right, so this has been the evolution of Kendrick Lamar, a special episode of Beat Freaks. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We enjoyed putting it out for you. Thank you, Turkana, for joining us on the show. It's been a pleasure. And
see you next time.
Yep.
It's the Beat Freaks.
You understand that? We're gonna talk about a lot of shit that concerns you. Only you.